The upsets keep rolling in. We have a team in the top 10 that I told y'all would be one of the most improved teams on the year. Did I think they would be top 10 by week 7? Absolutely not. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our week 7 power scale. Top 10 teams. Comment your top 10 down in the comments. Like and subscribe. Starting at number 10. Absolute dog at quarterback. He's a sophomore. The defense is looking great. We have and it was hard to pick between two of these teams. New England Patriots last week, not ranked. They went in and beat the Buffalo Bills, coming off another win this week, stacking wins. It was hard to pick between them and the Atlanta Falcons, I'm not going to lie. Both teams dethroning the Buffalo Bills, but I like the New England Patriots a little bit more. I like how they're stacking the wins. I like the coaching a little bit more. I like how the offense looks a little bit more. Not a slight on the Falcons. Bijan Robinson is absolutely insane. Their offense is finally starting to get going. But what Drake May is doing over there for the New England Patriots is absolutely ridiculous. Spent a few weeks in the offseason with Josh Allen, and it is absolutely showing. The running is showing it. The passes are immaculate. And the wide receiver core coming into this year, we didn't think it was that strong. It is looking very strong. The run game is starting to look a lot better. And the defense, since Christensen Gonzalez, Lord, I hope I said that right, has looked absolutely immaculate, in a team that has a pretty easy schedule coming up. If you want to look that schedule up, they could win this division. They're first in the division right now. If they just keep stacking win after win, this is a playoff team. This is absolutely a playoff team. Now they're going to have absolute insane playoff success. I don't know. We'll see. Top 10 New England Patriots. At number 9, we have the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm sorry, Patrick Mahomes. I took you out of the top 10 for a few weeks. They played better than the Jacksonville Jaguars. They still came out with a loss. I couldn't, in my right mind, put them back in the top 10 after that. But after a dominant victory over the Detroit Lions, who we had ranked number 1, the Kansas City Chiefs are back. 3-3 is their current record with Rashee Rice coming back. They've looked better and better on offense every week. Defense is getting a lot better. Chanel, absolute dog at linebacker. Looks like he's kind of taken over the locker room on defense, turning into an absolute captain, a dog, a demon on the field. The way they stopped the way they stopped Sonic and Knuckles was absolutely phenomenal. And I've told y'all week in, week out about the Detroit Lions. When you stop when you stop Sonic and Knuckles, Jared Goff has to pass the ball. Jared Goff cannot win games sustainably passing the ball. Number 9, Kansas City Chiefs. They're getting hot when they need to get hot. Tell me if you've heard that story before. At number 8, a team that stayed the same. Couldn't really do nothing to them. Didn't feel like moving them up. Didn't feel like moving them down. Yeah, they got a win this week. Wasn't super impressed by it. The L.A. Chargers. Justin Herbert finally getting Ladd McConkey going. Round of applause for that. The run game still looking great. Love to see that. Down 2 running backs. Down Najee Harris. Down your rookie Hampton. And you got 2 guys that stepped in, and were running great. Behind that O-line, who is missing 2 tackles. The defense missing Khalil Mack. They're battered. They're beat up. What team isn't? The L.A. Chargers stay at our number 8 position. I want to see Justin Herbert keep progressing as a quarterback. We need to see that this year. At number 7, moving down after a win. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't move a lot of teams down after a win. The Denver Broncos offense has a problem. When I tell you it has a problem, they are not helping the defense. The defense generating, I think, 9 to 11 sacks this week. I can't remember what it is. Was absolutely ridiculous. What they did to the Jets offense was, I think the Jets had negative 10 passing yards. Was that this week or last week? Can't remember. The Jets are absolutely awful. I've told y'all about Justin Fields. The Denver Broncos defense, top tier in the league, number 1, absolutely elite. The offense isn't moving the ball. They're bottom in the half in passing. They're bottom in the half in scoring. They do have a top 7 run offense, but they are not scoring when they get in the red zone. This is not sustainable heading into the late months, heading into December, heading into playoffs. It's not going to look good. The Denver Broncos have to get the offense going, and this could be an elite team in the league. But coming off a win, I got to move them down from 6 to 7. And I'm not feeling the offense. Something has to happen. Something has to change. At number 6, we have the Philadelphia Eagles falling from grace. Ladies and gentlemen, when I talk about one-dimensional teams, the Philadelphia Eagles are looking like a one-dimensional team, and that's sickening because A.J. Brown, dog, y'all say top 5 in the league. Devontae Smith, dog. I think he can go be a number 1 on multiple teams in this league. Absolute demon. Jalen Hurts cannot get them the ball. I don't know if it's Jalen Hurts getting exposed. I don't know if this offensive coordinator just has to go. I don't know if they're waiting for Mike McDaniel to get fired over on the Miami Dolphins. The Philadelphia Eagles have to change something because when this run gets stopped, this team is folding. That is back-to-back embarrassing losses. Dear Lord, Philly, do something. Moving from 2 to number 6 are the Philadelphia Eagles. At number 5, the Buffalo Bills. They were 4 last week. They didn't move down too much. Coming off 2 embarrassing losses. 1 to a division rival in the New England Patriots. But next, the Atlanta Falcons, who haven't particularly looked amazing this year. They're starting to come full circle. The defense, much improved. They're getting pressure on the quarterback. They're getting sacks. That is a big turnaround from what they were doing last year. The offense, you can tell Michael Penix is getting a lot more comfortable in the offense. You can tell him and Drake London are getting a rhythm going that looks ridiculous. This man's throwing the ball to Drake London in positions you typically wouldn't let your quarterback throw into. He's making the catches. He's making the plays. And Lord have mercy, all the people that said Jahmyr Gibbs was better than Bijan Robinson, I want y'all to go watch how this man runs through these tackles, lines, jukes people, runs people over. This is potentially the best running back we have seen. And we've seen Saquon Barkley's. We've seen Derrick Henry's. When I tell you, and by the way, they're letting him wear number 7. Number 7 is a sacred number in Atlanta. Atlanta fans, you know that. Sacred number. They're letting Bijan wear it. Massive W. The way this man's ball vision is and the way he can run between the tackles, between everyone, through everyone, Le'Veon Bell vibes. Giving me Le'Veon Bell vibes. I'm not going to lie. It sounds like we're talking about the Atlanta Falcons, but we're not. The Buffalo Bills are moving down to 5. The defense is absolutely terrible. They don't have a big playmaker over there. The offense, it's looking stale. There's no big playmaker in the wide receiver core. And when you got to rely on Josh getting out of the pocket and Cook absolutely cooking, and they just can't do that week in and week out, this team is going to drop games to people like the New England Patriots, to teams like the Atlanta Falcons. Something is wrong with Josh Allen. We're going to find out either at the end of the season or after the bye week when he comes in and absolutely goes off. He's not running like he used to. I feel like we used to see last year Josh Allen be a lot more mobile. He's sitting in the pocket more, trying to make more passes. Great idea. Love it. Keep him healthy going to the playoffs. I think he's hurt. I think something's wrong. Buffalo Bills at number 5. At number 4, the Detroit Lions. When you take away when you take away Sonic and Knuckles, Jared Goff is absolutely exposed. The defense is not that great, ladies and gentlemen. You can say the secondary is as good as you want it to be. They hold every play, pass interference. They don't get the flags that they should get. The secondary got absolutely, the Kansas City Chiefs paid the refs. The Kansas City Chiefs paid the refs. No, your defense is just dog shit. They had Travis Kelce out there one-on-one blocking. I almost said Trey Hendrickson. Lord, what's their DN's name? Hutchinson. They were putting Travis Kelce on one-on-ones. They were putting their third-string left tackle that moves all over the O-line one-on-ones with Hutchinson, and he couldn't get to the quarterback. And that's the only guy you got on your defense, really. Okay, I do want to say, Muhammad, I believe is his name, on the D-line, dog. They got some dogs over there, but the dogs aren't outweighing the bums. That's all I want to say. Detroit Lions, number 4. They're lucky I put them at number 1. At number 3, we have the Seattle Seahawks. Ladies and gentlemen, Jackson Smith-Njigba is here to stay. Y'all called me crazy when I said trade DK Metcalf. I think trading DK Metcalf took Jackson Smith-Njigba to the absolute next level. Top 5 wide receiver in this league. AJ Barner turning into a dog. Our tight end room is insane. The O-line's looking a lot better. The run game, Charbonnet, Walker, dynamic duo dogs. Defense getting toasted a little bit. We need to get all of our starters back. Looked a lot better this week. The defense is absolutely elite. It's looking immaculate. If we can get everybody back healthy, the Seattle Seahawks, we're going to the top, baby. We're going to run this division. We love to see it. At number 2, we have the Indianapolis Colts. Last week, ranked number 5. The Colts just keep stacking wins behind this O-line, behind Jonathan Taylor, behind this immaculate defense, who's playing great defense, by the way. Anything is possible. Danny Dimes playing great quarterback ball right now, not turning the ball over much, going out there, doing what he needs to do to keep these games alive and putting them in position to score. You don't need to go out there and get a touchdown every drive with this team. You go out there and get a field goal. You go out there, let Jonathan Taylor take over. The sky is the limit for this team. The Indianapolis Colts, currently most improved team on the year. Danny Dimes needs to keep this momentum going, and they can find themselves potentially in the number 1 spot. But ladies and gentlemen, at number 1, the Bake Show, the Bake Sale, the Big Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This man is an absolute dog on the field, ladies and gentlemen. When you get a guy that just rallies his team, when you see a guy like Baker Mayfield not go down, run a linebacker over, run a cornerback over, push for the extra yards, your team plays behind that. And he's doing all this with a battered and beat up wide receiver core. Over there in Tampa Bay, they're playing next man up ball. And we love to see it. He can get the ball to whoever he wants to get to. The wide receiver core looking immaculate, no matter who's out there. Tej Johnson, first touchdown on the year. Round of applause. MVP, MVP, MVP. Baker Mayfield, the defense playing great ball. The O-line is blocking no matter how many injuries they've had. This team is playing off the energy of the Bake Show, the Bake Sale, the big MVP. Baker Mayfield, ladies and gentlemen. That is our top 10 teams going into week 7. Let me know your top 10. Let me know what you agree with. Let me know who's too high, who's too low, who should be in, and who should be out down in the comments. Don't forget, like and follow.